Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes, and welcome back to the YoVideogames podcast. I'm Matt.
And I'm Andrew.
And once again, thank you to all our generous patrons who kept us going for over 350 episodes.
Yeah, if you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, please check out patreon.com/YoVideogames podcast. Due to the week is Psychosis. Thank you, Psychosis.
Thank you, Psychosis.
And I believe Psychosis has been with us for a really long time and has even contributed a couple of topics to the side quests. If you're a patron, you know what I'm talking about. But we also have a sponsor to thank. Of course, we're talking about Manscaped. And as we're pushing into summer, it's getting kind of hot as balls. Although it was kind of cold today, but it's been getting hot as balls lately.
Yeah.
And nothing will help you feel better than like managing all the hair. Now, I'm holding their beard trimmer, but their lawnmower was the first product we ever talked about. And nothing gets rid of that swamp ass quite like a lawnmower, just managing that hair, managing the topiary.
Lawnmower is great because not only does it work, it also makes your tree look bigger.
That's true. I mean, yeah, and that's the important part, really. For me.
When you got a lot of shrubbery, groundings like crawling up the vines, like your mother's veranda, you get rid of that, and all of a sudden you got a redwood. Who knew?
This does the same for your face. Takes care of your face balls. There's a lot of reasons that I love it, but the biggest reason that I love it is probably this wheel here that lets you adjust the guard on the fly by 0.5 millimeters. Makes it super.
I can hear you clicking that now. I couldn't before.
Yeah, your new headphones. But this thing is fantastic. I took it with me traveling to Vegas. Not only did I use it on my face, but I used it on like my shoulder and back hair too. It worked great for that. I don't know if anyone else has problems with shoulder and back hair, but I have more back hair than I have head hair. It's ridiculous. I'm a little gnome. But if you're interested in checking out any of Manscaped's products, please head over to manscaped.com. Use our code YoVG, all caps, for 20% off and free shipping worldwide. That's YoVG, all caps, at manscaped.com for 20% off and free shipping worldwide. Your balls will thank you.
That's right. And speaking of balls, this today was supposed to be as quoted as this is going to be a Sony event that will blow your balls off. This was the blow your balls off event, hyped event. Sony was mega confident. They let everyone know a week in advance, even. Like,
do you feel like you blew your balls off?
Absolutely not. My balls are big, heavy, and attached. They are nowhere near orbit.
So like a weird thing for me is I was expecting pretty great things just by how shitty Sony bots have been acting. Like I really thought like, okay, they're really gonna like blow my socks off. I'd give it a C, I guess. If we're
I mean, here's the thing: is like we are not console war people. We own we own all the consoles. We have PCs that play games. Like we don't care. We don't care. The only thing I do care about, and I will definitely get into this later, is that the reason we want there to be not console warring, we want competition. We want people to compete.
I love it when they're fighting.
Yeah, we love stuff. Like, and it's like no one remembers this shit. Like no one actually remembers the good that I don't know. That being said, this felt like a sort of run, like just a very long version of any sort of run of the mill state of play.
Yeah. So okay, there was 3 or 4 first party. I took notes. I'm an adult now. I have to take notes.
Yeah, like the first couple of games were technically first party. I can think of 4 first party games off the top of my head. 3 of them were just sort of like 5 actually. Like the first game, what was it?
Fair Gains. Payday, whatever. GTA Payday.
Yeah, that's like a Sony first party, PS5 PC, and then the second game was also PS5 PC as well.
But that was interesting because I thought that was going to be like a Starship Troopers thing, and then it looked like ODSTs, and then it was it's Helldivers.
It's Helldivers 2, but now it's third person. Which okay, so interesting enough, here's Sony. They're known for their big cinematic walking simulator sad dad games or open world sad dad games. Didn't really get that. We got to know. I guess Peter Parker could be a sad dad. I don't know if he's a sad dad in Spider-Man PS4 or not. I don't remember. I don't think he's a dad yet.
They're hinting at Psycho Dad. Alan Wake kind of could have been, but that's not an exclusive, is it?
No.
I don't think so. And you know, Alan Wake's not a dad.
Yeah.
Is he? I actually don't remember. So. It's been so long, and I was very much like Alan Wake 2. I was on board with. Although I found out it's digital only, which is sort of a fucking
digital only and here's their reasoning: it's so we can keep the game $60 and $50 on PC. So they said it'll be $50 on PC, which is kind of nice, and that's how they keep it down to $60, which is, I feel like that's a yes and no, where it's like, yes, releasing digitally should absolutely make your game cheaper.
Yeah.
No, games should not be costing $70, like, period. I don't know. Like, digitally speaking, that game should be 40 or 50 across the board.
It could be. I mean, it's going to come out, and I'm hoping it is extremely good, and I don't care at all that it is $60.
Well, okay, so Epic's publishing it. And it's on the Epic, and it's obviously on the Epic Game Store because of that. And it's cheaper, and it's cheaper on the Epic Game Store because of that. Because as well it should be, because it should be 50. I mean, maybe even 40, because like you have literally no one you're sharing the money with at that point. You're you're the publisher, and it's on your digital storefront. No one is in the way of you getting money. So
right, but because they do supply to Steam and everyone else, like, they don't want to undercut too much because then nobody will put their games on their fucking platforms.
Right. I mean, it's probably EGS exclusive for a while. Probably. I don't know.
Ugh. Epic Game Store. All these game stores and stuff just, ugh, it's gross.
People are so angry about having an extra launcher, and like the thing is like after I got my new PC, I have not reinstalled Epic Game Store. I don't even know what my login was.
Well, the reason I get annoyed with all the launchers is they constantly drag performance down. And granted, I have a pretty top of the line PC, but like every fucking launcher wants to run or update at the exact same time. It's exhausting.
It's true.
And you just don't need them.
You don't. That's the other thing. You really don't. Like
you're EA. You don't need your own store. Just put it on Steam. Nobody's happy with you anyway. Okay, EA.
You know, realistically, it would almost be better if someone outside of all of these publishers was just the de facto launcher. I mean, in a perfect world, and maybe I'm talking out my ass, I'm not versed in PC gaming. GOG would, in a perfect world, would be the only launcher. Every game would be on GOG and launcher because they have a strict no DRM de novo policy. So like they literally, it's just a straight up front for just like delivering games. Like in a perfect world, I think GOG would be the only launcher.
That's that is exactly who popped into my head too. So I'm fine with that. There were so many games in here. I feel like we're probably not going to talk about every single one.
I mean, and I think we'd be disingenuous to try to cover them all. Here's the thing: the first two. Well, no, not the first two, but like, okay, Fair Games. I don't have nothing to say about it other than like the thing I wanted to kind of get back here was that there was like of the 5 Sony first party projects that I can think of that were in the show. 3 were definitely multiplayer. 1 was Who the Fuck Knows, and 5 was Spider-Man. Was like their big single player game, which I'm kind of like shocked in a way because I'm just kind of like, I feel like multiplayer is kind of taking a beating right now, and maybe that's the point, is that multiplayer is taking a beating, and then like someone's going to swoop in and save the day and become the next big, because everyone wants to be the next big thing. But it's like there's so many within this year from last year. How many games fucking died? Multiverses died, and Rumbleverse died. People say Multiverses will come back next year. You hope. Babylon's Fallen died. Chocobo Racing died. It's just like all these games died. Like there was a game by Square Enix in here that's a Sony exclusive. It'll be dead in a fucking year. Like their Splatoon ripoff.
Fair. Was a Foam Stars. I was like, totally not Splatoon.
Kenny had the better idea where he's just like, I don't know why the game isn't about a bunch of like half naked ladies running around. in the foam. Like they really wanted to sell it to all the weebs, and I'm like rolling my eyes, but I'm also thinking in my head like he's actually right. He's right though. If it was free to play, it would sell like hotcakes.
Let's talk about his belle of the ball. He said Phantom Blade.
Okay, I was intrigued. I liked what I saw, but here's my thing. I want this to be the overarching theme for me on this show floor or on this showcase. I'm disappointed. I'm upset, and I can't get. And the reason I can't go higher than a C, or even a 6 or a 7 for me.
Very little gameplay of anything.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No gameplay. Even when there is gameplay, there's no user interface. If there's no HUD, if there's no UI, you ain't seeing shit. And unfortunately, Phantom Blood Zero looked dope, but it also that could have been a guy holding one button to block, and he's just doing all the cool shit on screen.
That's what I think it is. The thing is, I think that everything, even the gameplay, was edited to get around jank constantly. That game looks like it's going to be a jank fest. I don't want to be like a lot of people are like, oh, it's the next Revengeance. I don't think so. I don't think, because there's clearly some shots where they were editing around some janky weirdness, you know, and like these moves that are being done on screen that have to be animated moves, that they can't be like nobody reacted in that space of time that they showed on screen.
Yeah.
And so part of me is like, they were.
It looked really cool, but you read between the lines, and it's like this could be scripted.
It looked like a I don't know, Ninja Gaiden meets Bloodborne. Like it had all the vibes.
Yeah,
I was very down with it. It made me really nervous because I was like, it could all be bullshit if it ever even comes out. We may never even see it again.
And apparently this has been around actually at like other trade shows in like mainland Asia and stuff. I think this is it's a
Chinese company, right?
I think it is a Chinese made game. So I think it's been actually shown at other events that just don't get publicity in America.
Well, I would like to do a deep dive, and it'll have to be a different episode.
Yeah.
We'll have to go into.
And to my knowledge, is like Zyber was saying, this is the first time they've shown gameplay in any form. It's always been just like CG or like cutscene. This is the first time you've seen like game, sort of.
You know, you can see a Chinese made game and almost immediately know that it is a Chinese made game. And I haven't defined yet why I knew that immediately. I mean, obviously it has Chinese swords and Chinese architecture and stuff like that. But like there is like a quality to, or an art style or something. Like it's sort of like how you can see almost any Japanese RPG and immediately know that's a JRPG.
What I usually see is like it usually looks very pretty, looks really good. But like the in betweens, there's something is like always a little like it's almost like it's like PC-ish almost, where there's like a little bit of like stutteriness or offness between like the moment to moment animation in gameplay.
I think it's that all the hair and clothes always look like they're underwater and flowing in this like
immaculate.
Yeah, it's like it's this weird flowiness that is very like older Chinese kung fu movie, like the Hong Kong, like, and it's cool as hell, but it is definitely like a marker where you're like, yes, this is and I don't for clarity, I don't mean this in a critical way. Like I'm not saying like, it's Chinese.
It's just kind of interesting in a way where it's like, you know, like a Japanese made game will have like a fucking obscene attention to detail on character animation. And the background animation, the background level design is usually like fine.
Yeah, it's a hallway.
it's a hallway. It's fine, or it's very particularly staged, right? And then like, okay, what does an American made game look like? The characters look like they animate like a plank of wood. Like
it depends on what type. Is it sci-fi? It's blue. If it's dystopian, it's brown.
Yeah, a lot of Western made games go for like the sort of ooh and ah graphics moments, like where we're like, okay, make the environment look like fucking amazing. Characters usually tend to animate like planks of wood.
Yeah.
And now there's exceptions to all this, of course. God of War is an immaculately animated game, of course, you know.
And there's going to be exceptions ever, but there's always some sort of marker about like.
It's just kind of, I honestly think it's just generally speaking, the majority of the developers in this said country tend to prioritize this thing over that thing. And
You know
it's
what?
kind of interesting seeing what it is, for each country.
The Western detail, the detail that always makes me immediately know that it's a Western, at least in the last couple of years, is for some reason Western developers are horny for wrinkles. Anytime that Japanese games, they don't put any wrinkles at all, right? They're all immaculately it's very rare, and it's only if they want them to be like wizened, they'll give them like some like crow's feet, like look at how handsome this son of a bitch is, but he's old at 40. But like I've noticed, because we do a lot of sad dad shit, they put a lot of effort into wrinkles, and like each hair follicle moves on it, and you're just like, yeah, it's cool, but like who gives a shit? in the scheme of things.
And that happens with Japan too, where it's just kind of like the animation, like character will be doing something
right.
really looking really cool, and I'm like, that looks really cool. Does it improve the gameplay? No, not at all.
Each piece of armor animates on its own.
A good example of this would be the Grand Blue Relink game that they showed, which has been in development for like 8 fucking years.
Forever. Somehow I actually knew what that was when it came up. I was like, oh shit, that's Grand Blue.
Yeah.
And like I've never played a Grand Blue ever. I have no idea why.
4 or 5 years ago, Platinum was the one making it, and then they got kicked off the project, and then like it basically like went into dev hell. And every time they've showed it, it's looked noticeably worse since. So I mean, whatever. They swear it's coming out winter this year, I guess. Who knows?
Well, that's another thing that made me give it a C. So little had definitive release dates. Like the best you got on a lot of, some of them had specific days, but they were like Final Fantasy 16, which we've already known what day it's coming out, or like,
and now it's known I've played the game for like 8 hours, so it's like,
yeah, but like mostly it's been like, oh, 2023, meaning end of 2023, or like the Phantom Blade thing, no release date, like that's gonna be 2026 or something like that.
I think Alan Wake had a release date and it was like October or some shit.
October 17th, yeah. I wrote down release dates where I saw them and stuff.
Yeah, that's a short list.
There's not a lot of definitive release dates. Foam Stars, totally not Splatoon. That has no release date, and that was probably the most gameplay we saw
besides Spider-Man.
Yeah, which was an entirely game, and that looked cool as hell.
I did. Cool. I have nothing bad to say about Spider-Man at all. I wish we got to hear Tony Todd as Venom, but whatever.
Never again.
It's like the Phantom Blade Zero. Here's a one you probably would guess. Probably one of the games I was most interested in playing from the event was Sword of the Sea.
Yeah, actually, that did. I have a little. I mean, there was a good amount of games that I was like, ooh, about, but
there's a good number of just like, that looks pretty cool.
I guess there's 7. There's 7 games that I was like, oh fuck yeah, okay. But yeah, Sword of the Sea looks very cool. I wonder if it's going to be another like 3-hour game like Journey or Abzu.
Yeah, Pathless was definitely longer. Pathless definitely had more meat to its bones. So who knows?
Well, this looks like it's got more exploration than like Journey did. Journey was mostly like riding around. This looks like it's going to be open world-esque, but again, not a ton to go off.
Well, I'm hoping it's more Pathless than anything, because it's a desert, so it's like I don't really want to like fucking gawk at the desert too long.
And you're bringing water back, right?
That's what I kind of want to look like. So here's a spoiler, whatever. Pathless is in the Abzu universe. They're in the same universe, which you discover at the end of Pathless. So maybe there's a connection there where it's like you're trying to bring the Ocean of Abzu back or something. It'll actually be really cool. Maybe it'll like form a full trilogy when you get to the end of it.
Yeah, that would be cool. I'm excited about the music in the game. That's usually my favorite thing about any of their games, but the art style I like, but I don't think is like necessarily the most impressive thing ever. And
no, it's following their giant squid art, which is it's good, but it definitely has that sort of like aesthetics, like indie aesthetic to it.
Yeah, that's another thing, is like indie games tend to get into this like little niche of aesthetics that, like it would be weird to see an indie game.
It's effective but minimalistic.
Yeah, it's mostly very pretty blocks.
Yeah.
A lot of the time. Not that I have anything against it, but that is what it is.
Well, look, they're working with much smaller budgets, so I get it.
I don't. I think I've said before, like where I don't think graphics need to be the end all be all. Like I love nice graphics.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Anybody that says they don't like nice graphics, well, I don't know what the hell's wrong with them. But I think graphics should be secondary to like, the gameplay hook.
Yeah,
For
does your
instance, like,
game feel fun? Does it feel good to play? Is it something you want to enjoy doing? Because if it's not, and I think a lot of companies are kind of learning the hard way, like with Tears of the Kingdom doing as well as it is. And it's like, yeah, the game looks like radiated mud sometimes, but
it's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
people just love dicking around.
the other thing is, and Tears of the Kingdom sort of started this conversation too, that I've seen all over the place now, is like open world games that are just giant. They're like, oh, look at how big we made the open world. It's like, I would much rather have an open world game that's the size of 3 city blocks that feels lived in and populated
Oh,
than
Yakuza.
yeah, but yes, but rather than having like, oh, I can go anywhere in Japan, but it's empty all the time. And it's like, well, then what the fuck is the point of like?
And to be fair, I feel like even Yakuza, they could take just the 3-4 city blocks of Kamurocho.
Oh yeah,
I believe they can make that even more in depth. Like they could open up every fucking building there. They can make every building there have like an inside if they really wanted to. Like they haven't even exploited and dug into the full depths of that of Yakuza's one little area.
right.
As
I
much
mean,
as
they
could have.
haven't needed to, but
And no,
that's
they haven't
kind of the
needed to, but they
problem
could
with
have.
open world in general, right? They either choose to make it like super vast and beautiful but empty, or they make it, more lived in. There's a lot more NPCs, but you can't go inside anything,
Yeah, and
Um,
and Zelda even kind of falls into that trap a little bit. Horizon falls into that trap a little bit, where it's like it's beautiful, but it's like,
there's 6 towns and each town has a few dozen people in it. Yeah. Horizon's a little bit better than most of the
well,
other ones.
Zelda's less than that. Zelda's like there's like 6 towns and there's about 10 people in each town.
Oof. Oof. I haven't got to play it yet.
Maybe there's like fucking 5 or 6 in the Rito village. Like,
Although, since we're talking about a Switch game, maybe we should talk about the PlayStation Switch killer. The Wii U for PlayStation, the PU.
oh my god, yeah. I mean, I guess we're gonna get into this. The PlayStation Q. I didn't confirm this until right before we recorded. That doesn't work anywhere.
No, right? Yeah, you have to be like within
You would
Wi-Fi
have to
range
be
of
within
your.
of your PS5 console.
Yeah.
Not I thought they said Wi-Fi. Okay, so you go to a Starbucks or like you're at like you can hotspot off your phone. No,
No, no.
no. You just have it is within range of your system itself. They are selling you a fucking Wii U tablet for the PlayStation 5.
It's incredible. Well, they're also patenting something else that I saw where it's literally just the controller of that, and you can stick your phone into it.
Yeah, that was like revealed yesterday or something like that. Like
Yeah.
it's for Android phones. There's like a thing.
So I think they're gonna push cloud gaming.
No, yeah,
I think they're
obviously.
totally going to. But this is it's the Wii U. It's the Wii U tablet. I guess everybody sort of needs to apologize to Nintendo. I guess we just need to like
Look, all Sony ever has done ever since the dawn of video gaming has copied Nintendo. They've copied Nintendo, and they fucking have. They copied they copied the analog stick, they copied the Rumble Pack, they copied the motion controls.
no, that it's sort of true though.
Like they're a fucking zero. Why now did they decide we need to copy the fucking Wii U tablet? What?
I did sort of love their PlayStation earbuds. I sort of dig that. I don't know if it's going to be better than any of the other. Over ear is way more comfortable for longer periods of gaming.
The earbuds are like whatever, fine. You want to have a Sony branded earbud, that's fine. I don't understand the PlayStation Q thing. Like, I think that's what they called it, right?
I don't remember. I was calling it the PU.
PU.
It's the thing is okay. If you have, I suppose, if it goes over your router, if you have like a gigabit switch or a gigabit router, you could continue to play your game while you're pooping. You know, that's kind of the idea, right? You can walk away from your system and play God of War while pooping.
I guess, but
I have to imagine that the battery life isn't going to be amazing.
the screen's only 1080 as well, 1080 60. But
Yeah, but at that size, that doesn't, you know, you're
yeah,
not gonna.
guess it doesn't matter.
But it's like the wireless, like the.
I really thought this was going to be like a cloud streaming device. Like it was, you'd connect to a data point or your data network, and you'd stream games over the cloud. I thought that.
I sort of think that that's probably what it was born as, and then they realized that Stadia failed because it's too hard to make that consistent. It's too hard to have a consistent experience on, at least on the American network. You know, it's just,
man, I don't know. It is the most bizarre fucking thing. It is Wii Vitality sensors of bizarre to me. Probably even worse because it's way more expensive than a Vitality sensor would have been.
Well, there was like weird rumors sort of floating to like, oh, Sony's gonna get back into the handheld. You're gonna see them, like that was one of the blow your balls off rumors that was going around. It's like you're gonna see the next Vita. And it's like, oh, I guess this is what confused people. Like somebody saw a picture of this and was like,
I don't understand how it's not like, okay, it turns your PlayStation 5 on at home. As long as it connects the PS5 to the internet or something like that, and then you can stream the games. I don't know. I don't even know where I'm going with this. Just like I do not understand.
You have to be connected to its Wi-Fi 2 connection. So it's not even, I don't think it goes over your home network. I think you literally have to be in range of the PS5's Wi-Fi.
Yes.
Yeah, which means that if your bathroom's over, you know, or past 2 walls, you're fucked. You know, like you gotta lug the PS5 in there with you.
Oh my god!
It's I don't know. It could be very cool for a very select group of people, maybe. Especially if the PS5 could do 2 things at once. Like if somebody could watch Netflix on the tablet while you play games.
Yes, I mean there were small advantages to the Wii U tablet. You know, I'm not going to say there weren't. Like being able to just sort of like, okay, let me just put it up on this. You can watch TV, whatever. You know, I'm not going to say there wasn't. You know, asymmetrical multiplayer could really do benefit from this thing.
Right. Like if you had a game that was Tarkov-esque, where if you're playing on this thing, and you can just access your backpack on the fly, rather than have to like go into a menu on your first screen.
Zombie U2, PS5.
Kind of, yeah, similar idea. There's cool.
Here's the other thing though, it's not built into the consoles. Not every console is going to have this, which means they're going to have to sell this separately.
Oh yeah, and it's going to be like $300.
Yeah, like 4. Some people are even saying 400. So,
oof, if it's more expensive than a Switch, which can do this anywhere, oh man, that's rough.
Who is this for again? But yeah, I don't know.
Too much goddamn money.
Okay, so going back to the list of games, Helldivers 2. I don't know anything about Helldivers. It could be fun. I watched this and I'm like, watch this. This is going to be a fucking isometric game. And apparently the first game is an isometric game, like a Diablo style.
Mm-hmm.
And then Helldivers 2 looks like it's third person, which instantly makes me way more interested now.
I really got like Starship Trooper vibes off of it.
Oh yeah, totally.
And was like, oh, okay, it's gonna have like, you know, that sort of world and humor and you know that I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it yet. I know we know a couple of people, Al, who's probably maybe listening. You're gonna love that shit. I know you are, because I think he's the only person I've ever heard talk about Helljumpers
Helldivers?
Helldiver. Yeah, Helljumper is what ODST is called. Couldn't call it Helljumper.
He knew exactly what it was. He knew exactly what it was right from the beginning when they said Super Earth, and I was like, okay, I guess someone knows what it is.
He was immediately excited. He was like, finally, this one's for me. There's so many games, so I don't want to go down a list. Is there like, obviously we got to talk about Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake, and
I'll say this too. There was a couple very, I feel, specific pointed shots across the bow at the competition here.
okay.
One was Tower of Agrabah, whatever. It very much was just like, hey, we have Zelda too, but ours looks good. I know nothing about the game. I'm a little suspicious because, like, was it Dreamlit or something? Is the studio? I don't know. I've never heard of them. I don't know anything about them.
And it comes out next year, I think, is what they said.
Something like that. So I'm just like, okay, that's a shot across the bow. Like, okay, yeah. Remember, like, it's Sony going. Imagine if Zelda looked good. Well, you get that on PS5. Alan Wake was also sort of like stealing thunder from Xbox, as well as the VR game Crossfire. Sierra, whatever it was.
Sierra Squad,
Sierra
yeah.
Squad. Because if you remember, Microsoft made a big deal of going after Crossfire X for Xbox. And they were going to have Remedy, who's making Alan Wake 2, do a single player campaign for Crossfire because it was a big deal in Korea, and they're going to bring it out for the Xbox over here. So it's definitely like sort of like Sony going, hey, we'll take Crossfire away from you too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Sony's petty as shit. It's like
yeah.
Jim Ryan was like, I don't give a fuck. We just don't want this merger to happen. Like, there's no deal to be made here. I mean, we can talk about how they very clearly want Marathon to be their next like Tarkov killer / COD.
Yeah. Okay. So
DMZ
Marathon reboot happens. It's a game. It's a Doom clone. From the mid to late 90s, that was originally a Macintosh exclusive. It was one of Bungie's earliest titles.
It was very, very pretty for the time.
And now it's coming back, but it's coming back as an extraction shooter, which I know has got some of the 12 fucking people who even remember what Marathon is. I heard they're not too happy about that. But I mean, that this is the company Bungie is now. Bungie is a live service fucking studio now. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
I guess one thing that I'm excited about is I like extraction shooters. I like shooters in general, but Bungie is just like, if anybody's going to make something good enough to stand up again in terms of like the quality that COD puts out in terms of like gunplay and stuff like that, Bungie could do it. I don't know if it's going to be a third person or if it's going to be a first person.
Oh, it'll be first. Yeah, it's gonna be first. Let's be real. Yeah, the funny thing is, it's also gonna be on Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, it's not gonna be. It's not exclusive, huh?
No, it's on Xbox and PC.
That's hilarious. I thought Bungie was owned by.
So yes, they are.
Huh.
Again, this starts bringing in the sort of conspiracy theory that like Sony maybe doesn't want to look like wants to look good in front of the judge because the FTC stuff is ongoing with Sony and Discovery's coming up. So
interesting.
When we start learning how many millions of dollars Sony has paid to keep games off of Xbox, they probably don't want to look that bad in front of a judge and jury. Or
there's no way they don't look like they're anti-competition. They've like just the deals we know about that they've been proud about having, paying to keep the game off Xbox for at least an extended period of time and shit like that. I don't know. I don't see them getting away without at least a big fucking fine, but they might just roll that into cost of doing business and keep going. Who cares? I didn't realize that Marathon was going to be on Xbox too. I thought this was going to be their kind of like live services COD killer.
Bit of a surprise.
Try and go for.
Bit of a surprise for me too, honestly.
But that being said, I'd be lying if I didn't say that I was excited for it.
You're excited for Marathon?
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to see more. Obviously, we didn't see shit of it. We just saw the announcement.
Teaser. This is some bullshit. Again, this is why I was really. The thing that underwhelmed me more of this show is less the announcements and more just the presentation of the announcements, where it's like Snake Eater is getting a remake. Here's a CG trailer of a bunch of fucking ants and a bird and a lizard or whatever.
Yeah, nothing to do with what you're actually getting
announced. Then fucking CG Snake shows up. Yeah, we're remaking it. Okay, there are actual screenshots that have been released of the game. It looks nice.
It's gonna be good looking. Yeah,
it's gonna be a good looking game, but it
will bloom on the battlefield.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing too. Is just kind of like, okay, well, I know what Snake Eater is. I know what it plays like. Why don't you show gameplay of it? Like, you could have tweeted you're remaking it. Fuck. Like,
so the other thing is like the Metal Gear Solid Volume 1, are those just ports or are they remasters?
No,
they're just ports.
They're just ports. Like, people went in and, like, there's like a message from. It's funny how they call it a message from the development team, because Konami is never fucking letting anyone put their name on a project again.
Well, they didn't want Kojima in the first place to have his name on the project.
Probably no, and I think it was a bit of a fuck you to them, even at the time, even when he was working with them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, let's not forget what a shit company the Konami is here. But
no,
but yeah, these are not only are these ports, these are the vanilla versions of 2 and 3.
So it's
That's right. No third person camera for you in 3 on the old one. No, it is the vanilla version of 3.
Wow. That's gonna be rough.
No shit, yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna be
no extra content. No. These are vanilla versions of 2 and 3.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I'm buying that. I'm still excited about Snake Eater remake, but I'm not gonna get that volume of ports. I have the originals. Fuck it. I'll just hook them up and play them if I want.
Well, it is the other crazy thing too, is that they have there's the Blue Point remasters that got made on PS3 era, and they're very good. I don't know if they work on Xboxes. Like, I don't know if the Xbox One or the Series, the 360 version works on Series version at consoles. I don't know.
Well, the Blue Point remaster of Metal Gear Solid, like, is that anywhere near as good as Twin Snakes? Is it a remaster of Twin Snakes, or is it just a remaster?
No, Twin Snakes, there is no remaster of 1. Blue Point remastered 2, 3, and Peace Walker.
Oh.
That was the third one, was Peace Walker.
Right, okay.
So, and they're very, very good remasters. But yeah, you're just getting 1, 2, and 3 like as is. Where is it? Allows fans to play the games as they were, as first released on the latest platforms. Development team. Message from development team. And yeah, there is no game by Hideo Kojima on any of this shit.
So this is very clearly just a money grab by Konami, hoping to soak up some quick cash.
Yeah, there's some screenshots of it, and yeah, these are the games.
Rough. Oh, a game that I wasn't expecting to kind of be interested in was the Plucky Squire.
Looks good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of like, oh, that's, you know what? Kind of into that. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll play it on my PU.
PU.
My PU.
PU.
Oh, Dragon's Dogma 2, that RE engine. Ooh.
It looks good. Like what's sad?
Huh.
We discovered it's single player only.
Well, I'm not that mad at it. We need more single player only games, to be honest.
It's just weird that a game like that, where you go around with a party and you download AI companions of other players. Even for part 2, we're just not doing multiplayer.
Weird.
That was
that the villain is your buddy Andrew from Capcom. It's like before he left,
elderly Apple on Twitter. He's like, why am I the villain? And I'm like, well, why am I the villain in RE6?
It's because Capcom's got it out for you two specifically. All right, so obviously we were both down with Final Fantasy 16. We're both still pretty into that.
Yeah, it was kind of like another trailer for 16. I'm like, why? You've shown so much of this game already. What's there even left to say? We were all expecting a demo. We didn't get a demo.
Yeah. I think the thing we have to talk about is Gran Turismo, the movie, the game, the movie.
People hated this, and I don't blame them.
Okay, wait. Was that David Harbour in a shot?
Yes.
It's David Harbour's in it.
They have a much more longer trailer that they released. I don't know, 2 weeks ago or something. It's fucking cringy as shit. But
It's based on the true story.
it's based on a true story about a guy who became a driver because he trained on Gran Turismo and then became a NASCAR driver from some contest, and then he literally like killed someone like in the stands at one point and then retired. I don't think they're going to go that far in the movie.
Yeah, they probably want to leave that part out. So what exactly happens in a it's just a standard racing movie like a Ford v Ferrari, but
Well, it's like this kid, he enters a contest, he wins a contest, and then like David Harbour plays like the grizzled old like trainer, and he doesn't believe any of these gamers have what it takes to drive a real fucking car. So he tries to like train them and whip them into shape to be like actual competitors. And then the one kid like does rise up and he does become a real NASCAR driver, not NASCAR, sorry, a real
Turismo driver.
yeah, real world driver, and he makes it, yay! And then he gets in. Well, again, I don't think they're going to go into like because Max keeps saying like, yeah, like this was like crazy story because like he got in a huge crash and the crash ended up killing someone, and then he retired shortly after or something like that.
Yeah, you don't really keep going after a crash that kills somebody. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's again, I don't. To my knowledge, it's not like it was not an on purpose thing because fucking crashes happen in these races, but like it was just one of those things. Just like I don't know how you reconcile after that.
It's just I guess I wasn't expecting a movie about Gran Turismo to ever be made, but then again, they made a Twisted Metal show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're doing it because they had a story there from their contest where it's like, oh yeah, like there was a contest where like the world's best Gran Turismo drivers got to train with a real world trainer, and then like one actually made it to become like a real professional driver.
So, do you think they think this is going to sell Gran Turismo games?
I guess.
I guess
Everyone fucking hated 7.
Yeah, of the 100,000 people who care about Gran Turismo, that's not true. It's actually a pretty big
huge
seller, right?
usually, yeah.
All right, then let's talk a little bit about PlayStation VR. PSVR 2, Resident Evil 4 remake looks like it's going to be pretty fucking good in VR.
Looks nice.
The
I hope they don't charge for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you bought the game, are they going to charge you separately? Because
yeah, you have enough money to buy a PSVR 2. You got enough money to pay them another $60, baby. Arizona Sunshine was like the Dead Island of VR games.
Right? Like Dead Island, Dead Rising, both of those.
It should be good, but it'll probably be boring. Just like Dead Island and Dead Island.
It'll be just like that one voxel Minecraft looking game where it's just like, oh, it's fun for about a half hour and then it gets real boring real quick.
Oh yeah, what was that called?
I don't remember.
That was no, it was
Teardown. Sorry, Teardown.
Yeah, Teardown. Lego looking motherfucker.
Which, Nico was telling me, he's like, yeah, I play because it's been around on PC for like a couple of years now, and he was like, yeah, it's fun at first, but then it gets real boring real quick because all the things you have to like tear, like because it's all about like go in, blow shit up, take something, and then it's like heist, right? Heist based. Okay. And he says like they basically just their solution to making any challenge in the game is they basically put alarm trap wires everywhere. So it doesn't even matter what you do. Like you're going to set off. It just starts becoming everything sets off an alarm. Everything. So.
Well, then I got nothing. I got nothing for VR. Those are the Beat Saber. There's more Beat Saber coming. People love Beat Saber.
Yes, the kid Shadow dropped today. But look, I'll be honest. That Crossfire, it looked a little iffy on the gunplay, but. I don't know, doing like a Kimbo and then like aiming for one down, like a zoom down one scope and shooting like, hip fire on the other. With the like the way that like this isn't really split screen, just like one eyeball will be this and one eyeball will be that. It's like it looks goofy, but kind of fun.
Okay, so if it's gonna be PvP or at least co-op, it's gotta be co-op at least.
Crossfire is a multiplayer, shooter, so I assume so.
So there's got to be, is it going to be like a true VR shooter where you're running around? That could be cool. I feel like it'd give you motion sickness, aiming down sights and that stuff where everything's like jiggling because your hand naturally shakes. That's going to be weird. But all right. I wonder how many people have bought PSVR 2. Do you have the numbers on that? Do you recall any of the
Oh,
numbers?
they said they're approaching 600,000. They said
That's more than I thought.
Yeah, it is. Well, I mean, it's really iffy too, because I mean those are shipped out numbers, I believe.
So not actually bought, but that's
Well, they said within the first, was it 3 months, that it's selling 8% better than PSVR 1, or it's tracking better. Yeah, I don't know, dude. It was not really talked about, and then they're like, oh, it's doing well. It's selling 8% better than PSVR 1, and I'm like, PSVR 1 was not like a fucking hot seller though.
Yeah, it didn't do amazing.
No, like, and then they eventually stopped reporting numbers on it altogether, where because it sold like 5% or something, 10%, less than 10. It was less than 10% of the PS4 user base ever bought a PSVR 1.
Yeah, I mean, there was more promise in PSVR 1 than I think there is with PSVR 2 in terms of like possibility. You know, I think nobody really expects PSVR 2 to be like groundbreaking in terms of going up against like the Oculus.
And I'm gonna be honest here. It didn't look like Sony had a huge ton of faith in the thing, because they even their showcases stuff was like, here's a Resident Evil, here's a zombie shooter, here's a military shooter, here's Beat Saber. Bye.
Here's all the things that people liked on PSVR 1.
PSVR 2. Yeah. Here's all the things you liked and you kind of expected, and then and then there's like this other game which I don't fucking get, called Concord.
Oh, well, they didn't show anything on it.
Showed nothing. Oh, it's a spaceship. It's flying through space and things rattle on the shelves. Concord. Yep. What the fuck am I supposed to glean from that?
Part of me feels like it was hinting that it's like some sort of team shooter, like because you're going through a locker room and there's like a burger in a locker.
It was the worst fucking trailer I've ever fucking seen in my life.
I don't know what it's supposed to show.
Showed nothing, teased nothing. I have no idea what I'm looking at.
But it's coming out in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, again, and I'll say this, they ended strong with Spider-Man 2. They really did.
Well, obviously they knew that was going to kill, and so they ended on that. They ended with a pretty beefy...
Well, I think we need to talk about the more surprising things here, and that is what they didn't show. Where the fuck is Last of Us Factions, like the multiplayer Last of Us game? They said like
never coming out.
7 months ago, we're going to see soon, within the next few months.
Yeah, never. It's just never coming out.
Never coming out.
No.
Corey Barlog's apparently doing a new game with Sony Santa Monica. That wasn't shown or teased. There is no Ghost of Tsushima 2, which is the tease I was hoping for. There is no Bloodborne anything, to which, what Max was hoping for. There was no Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth here. We just got another fucking trailer for Final Fantasy 16.
There was nothing I was expecting. Well, Alan Wake 2, I was sort of expecting to see something on, and that was kind of cool. But otherwise, I can't think of a single thing that I was like expecting to see. Sure as shit wasn't expecting Foam Stars.
Foams.
Didn't see that coming.
Foam Stars is definitely like, you know what I mean? Here's the thing with Foam Stars, and
it might be fun, and that's more important than anything. But
it's we obviously all know it's going after Splatoon. It's going after the Splatoon market. But here's the weird thing I feel: Splatoon is one of the last franchises that's mega carried by Japan. Mm-hmm. Like 60 to 75% of its sales are from Japan. It is a Japanese first franchise, meaning the rest of the world is globally like, yeah, it's kind of cool, it's kind of fun. Yeah. Where it's like, and it's a very targeted towards a Nintendo audience demographic. So having a Splatoon ripoff not on the Switch, there's two things here. One, the West doesn't care about Splatoon as much as the sales might make you think it does, because that's, again, like 60 to 70% is from Japan only. Japan is gonna probably, which is completely dominated right now by Switch, is probably gonna look at that and shrug. I'm
Yeah,
not
they're
paying.
not going to buy a PlayStation 5 and the PU for it.
So I could buy. What, you want me to spend $500 plus another $70 to buy a Splatoon clone? When I have 2 Splatoon games on my Switch. This is such a weird fucking move for Square Enix. It feels like such a okay. We randomly shit out of Babylon's Fall every so often. This thing will be dead in a year.
Is this a fundamental misunderstanding of what makes Splatoon attractive?
It's a fundamental. I think it's a fundamental misunderstanding of when someone makes something really unique and it's successful, you're already too late.
Right, yeah, because they've already. I mean, and Splatoon is on 3 games.
Yeah, we're on Splatoon 3. 2 of them
Yeah.
on Switch.
You're way back behind. Is it the gameplay hook, or is it the fact that it's the only shooter on Switch that, like, runs the way it does? Like, is that like I don't know what.
Well, there's a really fucking dark, cynical side to me that probably shouldn't go there.
It's the youngins.
Look, all I'm saying is it'd be very popular amongst Catholic priests. No, just kidding.
Oof, oof. That, oh my god.
No. I mean, it's the fact that Japan has never really warmed up to competitive shooters that much. So you make a shooter that's really colorful, really zany, really out there on a system Japan actually really likes because it's portable. But it's sort of a recipe for success for Japan in particular. The rest of the world is kind of like, cool, we'll check it out, and they kind of do, but they're not there in the droves that Japan is. Why? Because we like shooters. We've liked shooters. We've been into competitive shooters. There's a fucking metric shit ton of them. Like, it caught on here. Like, shooters caught on here immediately. Caught on here in 1993.
Right. Yeah. And gore. We like gore.
And we do like gore. Japan's never been that up on fucking dismemberment like the way we are. We're a bloodthirsty nation of crazy people. So,
and don't you forget it.
Don't you forget it.
Yeah, honestly, my main reason why I'd call this a C is for what we're getting at here is like, okay, Concord looks interesting. There's no gameplay and you can't really tell what it is. And that goes for about 50% of everything they showed.
And that is my biggest thing too.
And like 80% of what they showed had no gameplay, but at least you kind of got the idea of what it was going to be. I don't know if I'm supposed to be excited. And a lot of this is coming out sometime in 2023, they are saying. But like Five Nights at Freddy's, am I supposed to is that supposed to blow my balls off? There's another Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, there's like 20. There's like 20 of those now.
All right. Dragon's Dogma 2 does have that already in.
That got no release date though. That's another one that was like, oh, Dragon's Dogma 2, cool. Nothing. Not a release date, not a demo, not a nothing.
2026, probably.
Who knows? Well, there's a funny thing too, where it's like Exoprimal, which is coming out in a month from Capcom, the big dinosaur shooter. Not there, and Lies of P wasn't there. I'm like, why? Because they're Game Pass games. It's coming out day one on Game Pass. Anything that's coming out day one on Game Pass, Sony's ignoring.
Yeah, well, I still hold against Exoprimal because it was totally a Dino Crisis bait and switch. Is what they were. It's what I expected when I was watching the MGS3 remake trailer, and I started to get this could be. I was like, I can't wait for this to be like a bait and switch to some other bullshit.
Someone was saying, "Is this Turok?" I was like, "Oh, really? Are we bringing Turok?" And for a moment, I was like, "Oh, we're bringing Turok back. Awesome." Oh, wait, no.
No one's that ballsy. A game we didn't talk about that actually got a release date is Immortals of Avium. Yeah, where you're doing the magic and you're
the magic
the rave,
doing the magic rave.
That one's July 20th. I haven't heard a thing about this game at all until now, and it's coming out in 2 months.
I think I saw it a year ago, one of Jeff's summer suck-off shows or whatever.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be amped for it, or if it's do they expect it to do really well, and that's why they didn't talk about it very much until now, or they think it's just going to die somewhere you know,
they're releasing it to die. I'll be honest. It's probably it's EA. If they can't monetize the fuck out of it with loot cards or whatever, I don't think they care that. It's an EA original, so it's like kind of like not. It's like they're like offshoot stuff like A Way Out and stuff like that.
right? And
So
it's not Star Wars, so they can't hope that it's going to sell very well.
yeah, I don't know. That one's weird. I'm actually curious why you didn't mention Assassin's Creed Mirage.
Because I know you don't give a shit about it, and like
It feels like it's a soft reboot for the franchise, right?
I was sort of expecting them to throw a bait and switch where they're all like, "This is the remake," because aren't they doing a remake of Assassin's Creed 1 too, as
No,
well? Rather,
I don't think so. They're doing a remake of Prince of Persia, and that's in dev hell.
oh, oof, wow. Yeah, no. Assassin's Creed Mirage is fine. I mean, I really liked Odyssey.
Is it an RPG style like Odyssey, or is it back to because I heard they're actually going to start splitting and differentiating. Like they're going to bring back old school style Assassin's Creeds, but then they're also going to continue the RPG style.
I think this is going to be the first of the older school type.
Okay, not RPG heavy as much.
Well, this character, the character in this game, is a character in Valhalla.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this is kind of his origin.
Are we 13th warrioring this thing?
Well, no. In Valhalla, he is a Middle Eastern dude who comes to hunt, and he is who teaches you how to be an assassin. You're a Viking who starts learning from him how to do it. And I don't want to go into like spoilers for Valhalla, even though who gives a shit at this point. But I don't know how they're going to thread this character, because he's a cool character, but this has to be in Valhalla.
Yeah.
Oh no. I mean, I guess technically he's the villain.
Okay. That's a Hatham situation.
He turns out to be Loki. He turns out to be this guy who's been living underground since Valhalla ends in one of the like arc things that the aliens built, and he releases himself into the modern world at the end of Valhalla. And you're like, oh, I don't know, what the fuck is he doing? He's gonna burn it all down. Yeah, I know.
Neat.
It takes a fucking weird turn.
Which made interesting, because people are like, are they still gonna have modern day shit in these games? I'm like, man, I don't know. I hope not, because like, who gives a shit anymore?
Yeah, I don't think anybody plays for the modern day game. I don't know. But Mirage does look cool. I just I don't know how excited I am for it necessarily. Like, part of the reason I loved Odyssey is the time period.
Yeah.
The place. And we don't know a ton about the place and time period other than it's taking place in 900-ish AD. In, I guess, Constantinople, it looked like, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about that time period.
It'd be real interesting if it took place in Spain somewhere.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be super cool. The big draw for any of those games is the time period.
How about a Morocco around like the 1000s or so?
Well, I mean, it's not going to be that, because it's the same character from a game that takes place in like 905.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Before he goes, so it'd be like late 800s. So it's got to be somewhere.
I still think that'd be cool though to have a game around there.
Hell yeah, do it in Morocco during like the Barbary period.
The Barbary Coast. Yes, that's my point.
Yeah, that'd be sick as hell. But that's always been the big draw for Assassin's. So I don't know how I feel about it yet.
Because then you could even bring the ship naval combat shit in, because that's a major part of it. And having the Strait of Gibraltar and stuff. And
it would be interesting if you could, especially if you made the world where you could go between Spain and Morocco and like, northeastern Africa. That'd be sick as hell. I don't know. I also, if they move away from the RPG elements back to the adventure game, are they going to lock it down into a single city again? Like the older school? Why do I keep saying that? Older school. I don't know. I think of all the games that they showed, I mean, obviously Street Fighter 6, but who wasn't already amped for that? I don't know.
It was like, okay, cool, but you have a story mode trailer. The game comes out next week or some shit.
Yeah, my real problem, I guess, final thought on this, since we're reaching the end of the episode, is like, of the games that I was excited to see, very few of them showed me much more than a teaser. You didn't see a ton.
And I really wish we would be beyond this point, but we're just not.
I don't know. We're building up to a topic that we're not going to talk about yet, but we're building up to a talk of it, and we're in the season to see if how it's going to pan out. But so far, this ain't selling me too hard on the blow your balls off season.
This didn't blow anyone's balls off, I don't think, unless you're like real fucking into Spider-Man. But like, you should still have been expecting this. I mean, they had to talk about it,
and it does look cool.
And it does look great.
Does look cool. But, I don't know. Obviously, let us know if there was something that really, like, blew your balls off. For Al, that's going to be Helldivers. Al is amped as hell about that, I'm sure. I am optimistic about the game, but I don't know that it, like, blows my balls off. RE4 in VR looks cool, but I am not going to do VR. So, VR makes me feel sick. I'm out. I can't, even though it does look cool. It does actually legit look very cool. Any final thought before we sign off?
You know what? I think the final thought, I'll just echo what like Muffin, one of my mods, the Muffin Man, was saying, where it's just kind of like, he really likes Sony, but he feels like Sony didn't really do much here because they didn't have to. Because Microsoft is, not doing super well, drowning, shitting itself. Nintendo's being Nintendo, and they're not talking about anything. The Zelda's out, and they just don't care about nothing no more. So he was really hoping to see a sort of like, Sony coming out swinging, like really competing. He's like, the unfortunate thing is that competition right now is stifled. Like,
they haven't had to compete in years.
Yeah, and they know it, and that's why they're not going all out. They're just like, okay, have a big showcase for Spider-Man, and then just throw a bunch of other shit they clearly don't care that much about. Honestly, like I don't. I mean, Sony might like some of the stuff like Marathon, and maybe they care a little bit about a couple other things, but like these are just. This felt like I was watching like a PC or an indie game showcase for most of it. Honestly, like.
Well, I mean, I'm always going to be excited about Bungie stuff because I just kind of like Bungie, but I never got into Destiny. So for me, Marathon is the cautiously optimistic. I don't know. We'll see. Otherwise, like, Sony doesn't have a whole lot going for it in terms of first party on this one.
Yeah, it's just Spider-Man for this year, I guess, and then Fair Games or whatever, if you will, maybe. I don't know. It's. I can't believe they didn't show Last of Us Factions. Like,
it's never coming. Stop getting your hopes
up.
It's
so weird. I mean, I don't care. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to buy it. It's for Steve. I'm just like,
I'll play. I mean, it's a separate game, right? Or is it an expansion to?
No, it's a separate game. Like they said,
I don't know.
They said fucking 3 years ago how like, oh yeah, it's grown so big that we've actually made it into its own standalone product. Cool. Game comes out in 2020. Here we are 3 years later. Not a fucking word. Like concept art.
They're gonna announce it's out now when they announce the next Last of Us game.
I guess so. Yeah, Last of Us Part 3 gets announced, and then boom, Shadow Drop Factions is out. Oh my god.
That's gonna be how they do it. All right. Well, we've got patrons to thank. If you're interested in becoming a patron at any level, please check out patreon.com/YoVideogames podcast. Due to the week with Psychosis. Thank you, Psychosis. And our producers for this episode are Mutton Chops Johnson, the Pink Hammer, the Schmidt One, Screwnami, Croy35, Hyperviper89, Ziggy Z, and Online Persona. Thank you, dudes, and we will catch you next time.
Later, dudes.